Hi everyone, it's Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about my postpartum story. I know it was really helpful for me hearing other people's stories so that I knew what to expect and ideas to help with if you have any tears or you have, obviously if you just had a baby you're going to have some sort of healing that has to take place. So I just hope that this video is helpful for you guys or interesting and maybe you get some ideas for ways that you can just heal faster and better after you have a baby. Now just a disclaimer, this video is going to be a little bit TMI, well probably a lot TMI, but pregnancy and birth and postpartum is TMI and that's just life, and I don't want to sugarcoat things, and I just want my channel to be real and raw and honest, and so I'm just going to tell you guys my story and I'm not going to hide anything. So let's get into it. So this little pumpkin was born about 4.5 months ago, I think. It was a 24-hour long labor, and my transition itself was several hours long, and then the pushing stage of labor was 3 hours alone. So I had a very rough, long, exhausting labor. I tore in 3 places, and I dislocated my tailbone. So I'm not sure how bad I tore exactly because the midwife actually told me that I probably shouldn't look down there, otherwise I would be freaked out, and she didn't want me to be worried about it because it was going to heal up just fine, but she didn't want me to look down there and be freaked out. So I actually didn't look. So I actually have no idea how bad it was. I just know I tore in 3 places and I was being stitched up for probably over half an hour, closer to an hour. And it was awful because I hate needles with a passion. So that was not fun. It hurt to sit for several weeks. It hurt to go pee. It hurt to change positions. It hurt to walk around. I wasn't allowed to walk upstairs for over a week after the baby was born. Even a couple months afterwards, if I was walking too long or I would move just right, I would get like this painful twinge, or it would just kind of be generally sore. And that's totally normal. It just took a while before it started feeling normal again down there. One of the most important things that you can have in the postpartum period is it's a peri bottle. It's kind of like a squirt bottle, but it is for squirting up there. So after you go to the bathroom, you have some warm water in this squirt bottle and you squirt it up there to rinse it off, and then you just pat it dry. You don't want to be wiping, otherwise you might wipe your stitches off. So peri bottle saved my life. Oh my goodness, it just felt so good. Another thing that helped me heal down there a lot faster was that I took an herbal bath several times, especially in the first week. I made an herbal bath out of plantain, calendula, witch hazel leaf, lavender flowers, chamomile flowers. So I put all these herbs together and I boiled them in a pot and I let that steep for an hour or more. I let it get nice and strong, and then I pour that in the bath and fill it up the rest of the way with nice warm water, and then you just soak in there, and you can even bring the baby in there with you as long as their cord stuff has dried up and fallen off. It's totally safe for baby, and it felt so good, and my midwife was really shocked how fast I healed, and I partly attribute that to the fact that I took an herbal bath so many times. Another really important thing is adult diapers. Now, it is the least sexy thing that you can wear, and they're a little embarrassing, but it really helps. You just want something, after you have a baby, you don't really care about looking pretty, you just want to be comfortable. They can hold a lot, so you don't have to be changing them all the time, because you're going to bleed after you have a baby. It's going to be something like a really bad period. After a few weeks, or probably more like a couple weeks, I switched from doing the adult diapers and disposable pads to starting to use my reusable cloth pads that I always use anyway. So it was just really nice to have something that I could just rewash since I'm cloth diapering my baby. I have a lot of laundry to do anyway, so that was really helpful, and I find that my reusable cloth pads are a lot more comfortable than disposable pads. It was between a month or 2 after I had the baby, and I had one of my checkups. The midwife came and just checked to see how I was healing down there, and she cleared me for intercourse. It was still feeling kind of it was still feeling kind of painful, just kind of uncomfortable down there, and intercourse was not very comfortable, and the thing that I did totally helped it to finish healing and totally helped it to go back to normal. It made intercourse not hurt anymore. So I bought some primrose oil capsules, and I would just pop some holes in the capsule and then just put it up there right before I went to bed, and then the capsule would dissolve and the primrose oil just soaked in and made everything nice and moisturized and helped it to heal faster. You can also take primrose oil capsules internally. Those were super helpful. I highly recommend just using those, not right away because obviously you don't really want to be putting anything up there right afterwards, but a little while after, those are very helpful. The other thing that happened was that my tailbone kind of got dislocated. When she was coming out, she got stuck on my tailbone. Her shoulder was stuck on my tailbone, and it kind of got bent. So actually what happened was that my tailbone was bent the wrong way from a horse training accident I've had years and years ago. And so then when the baby was trying to come out, it was bent the wrong way and it was blocking her. So then when the baby came out, it bent it back so that it's in the proper spot now, but it's very sore. What I did for that was I went to the chiropractor several times and he got it all fixed, and I can hardly tell anymore. Sometimes if I sit for way too long, it's a little bit sore, but it's way better. So my labor was 24 hours. And so I was awake for 24 hours, and then I was awake for several hours after the baby was born. And so I had been awake for close to 30 hours, and I had not even gotten an hour of sleep during that 30 hours. So I was exhausted. But you just really, really want to take it easy. Just stay in bed. I just stayed in bed, and then I just moved from the bed to the couch because we were having visitors. And don't feel pressure to have visitors right away either. If you just want to relax and take it easy for a little while, that is totally up to you. So I would just move from the couch to the bed. I had lost enough blood and I was just so weak that I couldn't even stand up straight. One of the things that really helped with getting my strength back and just feeling like I could stand up straight and walk again was actually drinking beef broth. I had made some beef broth earlier that year and canned it, and I would heat it up and add some salt to it and I would drink it, and it was shocking how well it helped. I was completely bent over walking, and then I drank the beef broth, and after half an hour I could stand up straight. It was crazy. So beef broth or chicken broth, any bone broth is just really great for getting your strength back. Another thing that most women deal with after they have a baby is baby blues, and it's totally normal. It's not the same thing as postpartum depression. It's really normal to feel just sad for no reason after, in the first couple or few weeks after you have a baby. Sometimes you just feel sad, and especially when it would start to get dark out, I would just feel really sad and upset for no reason, and I cried several times. And I was just really confused. I was there's no reason for me to be feeling sad right now. I just had a baby. I have this awesome husband and this sweet little baby, and my life is just going so well right now. And I would just cry for no reason. And it's just your hormones switching back from pregnancy hormones to postpartum hormones, and you're starting breastfeeding, and there's just so many changes going on in your body that it is really normal. A few things that really helped me were just making sure that we read the Bible together, me and Luke, and then reading the Bible myself, and being in prayer a lot, just talking to God a lot really helped me get through that. And then just take care of yourself. Take a nice hot bath and let your husband take care of the baby a little while. Just make sure that you're taken care of, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So another weird symptom that I got after I had the baby was my legs got so itchy. It was such a strange thing. It doesn't happen to everyone, but my legs were so itchy, and I remember just being awake at night and my legs were so itchy I couldn't sleep. And it was just there for a little while. Moisturizing and putting lotion on helped a little bit, but it was just kind of there for a few weeks. It was there for a while and it was really annoying, but it's gone now. I haven't had that for a couple months now, and I'm so grateful. So let's talk a little bit about my weight loss now. I gained 60 pounds while I was pregnant, and I know that's a lot more than some people gain, but I wasn't eating more than I was hungry. I was just eating what my body told me to eat, and my baby was so healthy and chubby when she came out, and my mom and my grandma both gained about 60 pounds, so it's just kind of genetic, I think. And we're both healthy, so that's just, I guess, what my body does. I have lost all of it now, and that is mostly because I have hyperthyroid. I have Graves' disease, and so you just lose weight really easily, and I lost it actually a lot faster than I would have wanted to. Just because I'm breastfeeding, I don't want to lose weight really fast, so it wasn't actually super healthy. I mean, I'm grateful that I lost the weight, and it is nice to just be back to my pre-pregnancy weight and I'm feeling good, but I would have liked to lose it a little bit slower. So my normal weight is 140, that's what I weigh right now. I am really tall, I'm 6'1", so that is my normal healthy weight. I'm generally very lean and very tall. And so then when I was pregnant, I weighed 200 pounds, and that was a little bit hard for me to get over, just the fact that I weighed 200 pounds. The day that I stepped on the scale and I weighed more than my husband was a little bit hard for me, but you know, you're growing a baby, like you're doing something so amazing, and it's worth it, like to grow a healthy, strong baby that you carry to term. It's just totally worth gaining the weight. We had a pretty easy breastfeeding journey. Obviously it was a little bit painful, like when my milk came in I was really engorged, and she had a little bit of a hard time like latching on and like getting it started when they were so full, but we got through that. Breast pads. I have reusable breast pads, and I highly recommend getting reusable breast pads because you would just go through so many and you can just wash them. I had them in my bra at all times. I had to wear a bra at night so that it could hold the breast pads. I was just leaking so much. I've stopped leaking now. I don't have to use breast pads anymore unless like she goes through a growth spurt and my milk supply goes way up, then I will have to use breast pads, so it's really nice to have them on hand. It was like a week after she was born and my milk had already come in, and my nipples got so sore, especially on one side. I think it was the right side that was more sore than the left side. And they weren't like cracked or bleeding or anything. They were just very, very sore. And especially when she would first latch on, like I had to like grab onto something with my other hand and just squeeze it really tight because it was so excruciating. But she was latching fine. It was just my nipples were getting used to breastfeeding, and they don't hurt anymore. It's not painful at all to breastfeed anymore. It's going really, really well. She drinks a lot of milk, and she's gaining weight at a proper speed, and yeah, breastfeeding is just such a special journey. We had a little bit of a scare about a month after she was born when my thyroid was really, really high. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was that with my pregnancy hormones, my thyroid was too low while I was pregnant, and then after she was born it went too high from the postpartum hormones. So it was like way high, and she was getting like some eczema on her head and her face, and she had really bad cradle cap. And so my naturopath was saying that if we couldn't get my thyroid under control quickly, I might have to stop breastfeeding. And that was so scary. So I was like, I went off of dairy, I went off of gluten, I went off of peanut and eggs and tomatoes and chicken, like everything good in life I wasn't eating. So my thyroid is under control now. I'm feeling really good. I just had a blood draw yesterday, so I'll hear the actual results on Monday in like 3 days. But just based on how I'm feeling and keeping an eye on my pulse rate, I'm pretty sure that it's back down in the normal range. So I'm very grateful that I didn't have to stop breastfeeding her, because I really enjoy it. It's just such a special time between me and Sophia. So I think that covers most of it. That is my postpartum journey. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about anything, please leave them down in the comments. I hope this was of some encouragement or help to somebody who needs some ideas for things that you're dealing with after you have a baby. or if you're someone who's pregnant and you need some ideas for things that you want to have on hand. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I will see you next time. Bye!